Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our 1 o'clock live broadcast. And for those of you that are watching this on Facebook, LinkedIn, or on my YouTube channel, uh, we had our first session of boot camp last night. It was outrageous, and my mailbox this morning filled up with messages from about half the participants. We have switched over to a new platform, and we're streamlining the training to make it easier so people can talk to more people faster. And so for those of you that are in boot camp, if you have any questions about your profile, if you have any questions at all, please pop them in the chat. Twice a day, Mondays through Fridays, I'm here to help people answer their questions. Now, the past does not equal the future. It's one of the things we talked about last night. And with consistent effort and persistence, you'll do more business this year than you've ever done before. You can set the foundation for increased growth, duplication, and momentum. This is what it's all about. I fear not the man who practiced 10,000 kicks once. Bruce Lee fears the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. The more you do this, the more people you talk to, the more time you spend on LinkedIn, reaching out and talking to people, the better you're going to get. It's a 4-step process. Create a profile, put yourself out there. Once you're out there, now join the party. You have 1 billion people that you could be talking to on LinkedIn. You have 3.08 billion people on Facebook. People create profiles for a reason. So you can pick out the best people. In many cases, you're already connected to people that would jump into your business if they knew more about it. Connect with people. And connecting with people that you're already connected to, you could be connected, but there's got to be engagement. You're connected to people, many people that you've never talked to. Then it's all about communicating, talking to people. And what facilitates connecting and communicating is engagement, posting, putting information out there that people will appreciate. And then qualify the people you're talking to and close the people that need what you have. So simple that anyone can master it. Let me look in the chat window here. All right. So please type in there what you need. Okay, Lance, we'll look at your account. And Okay, we really have a good cross range of questions. So let me pop over here. Let's come over to LinkedIn. Now I'm broadcasting live on LinkedIn, so let's get off that page. All right. So Peter, let me unmute you.
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning and welcome back. Or actually, it's afternoon now. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
So, as I told you earlier today, we're what we call LinkedIn DNA.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very strong. Okay. You have
Okay.
credibility with people. You're believable. The fact that you're a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, oh, I'd like to get the senior director in Melaleuca by the end of the month.
Yep.
How long have you been in Melaleuca?
I've been a customer. I've been a customer for 6 years.
Okay. That's a great part of the story. And when
I
did you
just I started the business. I started recruiting beginning of December.
okay. So that's part of the story. Okay. You were a
Yep.
customer, you love the products.
Mm-hmm.
People that you recommended the products to, they still use it. So you have good, retention, which generates that predictable stream of residual income. And so you started it in December, and
Yeah, really the end of December. I started. I recruited 7 people in one day, and I just want to get this done faster rather than slower.
okay, so you recruit. All right, you recruited 7 people in one day.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do that?
Well, I worked with my friend's family, and I told them I'm building this, and I'm going to be using some strategic approaches. I had no idea what the approach would be at that time, but I told them I'm inviting them to join me, and I
So
told them that I'm doing this because I want a company that's been around for a long time, that's solid, that's not going to fail, not going to fall apart, that has some longevity. You see,
now these are people that you knew.
these are people that I knew,
Okay, okay,
but I knew that in order to really build, I'm going to have to reach out to people I don't know. And I'm
gotcha.
going to have a compelling story to invite them to follow me. You see.
Okay. Now here's the thing: bringing
Mm-hmm.
somebody into the business, that's going to get you customers. In order for you to get the senior director, you need to have a specific number of business builders or directors under you.
Right. I need 5.
You need 5? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm told. I need 5. I need 20 customers, and I need to help 5 of my customers acquire 20 customers.
Okay. Well, that's one way to do it. Um, I'm not up on all of the latest. Okay, so let's talk about, okay, so you need 5 people who have 20 customers.
Mhm. Right.
Okay. So first, how many of the 7 people that you showed the business to do you think have the wherewithal and the potential to get 20 customers before the end of January?
If I show them this method, I've got about 3 right now who go to work.
Okay.
If they can, if they see the value here, I've got about maybe 3, maybe 4 that'll go to work and join forces with me and make this happen.
Okay. Because initially, when you said, I'd like to get the senior director in Melaleuca by the end of January, I was prepared to tell you, and I'd like Publishers Clearinghouse to ring my doorbell, and hand me a check or maybe win the lottery.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Because we're already to the 12th of January.
Well, I can work 15, 20 hours a day now. I'm good.
Okay.
I can run. I
All
can
right.
run.
Okay. Well, because that's what it's going to take. Okay.
I know.
That's what it's going to take. Now, the thing is that, you've heard this expression, you want to get ahead in network marketing, you need all out massive action.
Yes.
All out massive action. Now you can do that, but for you to get the senior director, it also depends on what the people that you bring into the business do.
Correct.
Okay. And that's,
But if I can teach them this system, I think that we can make it happen.
well, listen, okay. I personally, we're going to have to talk about it because I'd love to see you do it. And, I had a woman, I think I mentioned earlier, that
You did. Uh-huh.
was in actually, but she was already in 2 boot camps. So she was, familiar with the material. And, but she was putting in 14, 15 hours. Now, if you can put in that amount of time, uh, and considering where you are, it would be an interesting run. And I'd love to see it happen. So here's the deal.
Mhm.
First and foremost, we need to be talking to people that clearly have a need or an interest. And of course, the next part of that is is they have to be able to come in, and the more people that they're connected to, the better. But then, of course, the other thing now, all right, so first and foremost, these are people that you knew. Now, there are going to be a lot of people that you know that you're connected to on LinkedIn that you'd never talk to, or for that matter, they're going to be people that you know that you never thought to look for them on LinkedIn.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So
And
yes.
yeah, and so that's going to be a big mark. And I have to tell you, for those of you that haven't been on social media, reluctant to get on social media, I'm going to share something with you that might light a fire. Okay. Now, before I got into network marketing, from 1978 to 1993, I had a very large publishing company. It was an Inc. 500 company. I had 250 employees. It was phenomenal time. I made a lot of money. And this morning, a few hours ago, I get a message here from Manny Moda. All right. She said, "Why are you aging backwards? You look good. Hope all is well." Manny was a young kid that came to work for me when I started my company. Stayed with me for about 10 years. ambitious, terrific. I mean, a great hard worker. He moved up into management. Uh, I'm hearing from him again. I could go back and so the last time I talked to him, 2013. And so the influence that I had on literally hundreds of people, actually, if I taught people how to sell,
Mm-hmm.
and I taught people how to manage people and set goals and attain those goals. And as a result, something that I found out later was that we had a big phone room. We had about 200 people on the phones in shifts. And I found out later that and there's always turnover in phone rooms. I found out later that if anybody had me listed as a reference for working for me, they got started in jobs $50 a week higher, because if they could work for me, they could basically stay. So again, back then I showed him anything's possible. Now he's got his own business, right? So this was
Mm-hmm.
back in 2013. So he says to me, "Well, what's your secret to aging?" I says, "Vitamins and going sailing once a week." And so that was back in 2013. So people, when people are having birthdays, and birthdays are a great way to reconnect with people. All
Mm-hmm.
right. My best friend, we've been friends since the 5th grade, have never forgets my birthday. Okay. I never remembered his until we both went on Facebook. And now I know when he's having a birthday. But why are you looking? You look good. Hope all is well. So I was going back. It's the vitamins I'm taking.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you always want to end a message with a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Because you control the conversation. It's impolite not to answer a question. So as long as the last thing a person sees here is a question, you're making it easy for them to come back and respond. Now, when you send a message to someone, you're going to be able to see, if you look over here on the right, up their picture. If you see their picture, it means they sent it, they saw it. That's a new feature of LinkedIn. So for you, we're gonna have to we got to talk afterwards. But
Okay. Oh,
okay,
okay.
but is it possible? It is possible. All right, and I'd love to see you do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd love to tell. There are two corporate directors that I would love to see you do it. When I helped this woman years ago, it opened up the eye, because 7 years, no, 8 years ago, your company was not a social media friendly company.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
It's only been in the last 5 or 6 years that they become social media friendly. And I like to think that I had played a part in that,
Mm-hmm.
because so you're going to run into a lot of people that frankly were in Melaleuca before that dropped out because
Right.
of the business building model. You're also going to run into people that someone has talked to about network marketing. In fact, I've got some case studies where people, phenomenal prospects, that one of my students reached out to, qualified them, fabulous candidates for the business. And then once we mentioned Melaleuca, oh no, I looked at it. Somebody just told me about it a month ago. Not interested. And yet we were able to turn those conversations around
Exactly.
because there are tens of thousands of people in your company that were taught old school methods
Right.
and which revolve around reaching out to your friends, your family. And unfortunately, the tools, the online tools that the company has created follow that formula. So what you have to do, since we're looking for a business builder, is we have to give people enough information about the business before um, before you show them the online tool. They have to be looking at they have to be looking at the bigger picture. All right. So we'll definitely talk about this.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you
Let
so much.
me okay. Okay, so somebody best way to answer someone who says, "Are you looking to hire?" Let me unmute Bobby.
Hey, Max, can you hear me all right?
Bobby, I can hear you fine. Um, and you say, Joe Hines, sick and tired of HR, ready for a change. Let me pop into your account because there was something that I wanted to cover with everybody, and this is a natural. Wait a minute, let me just.
Yeah, the first name I sent you was the one that asked the question, "Are you looking for someone to hire?" And then while you were talking, I was looking at some others, and then I saw the second conversation that I sent you. RPF.
Okay. Now, Bobby's one of my coaching students, and this is how we develop our scripts. And I may use this to kill two birds with one stone. Okay, so here, now notice that when Bob opens up his account, he's got 4 hours ago, one of his connections got a new certificate. And so when you add something to your profile, they post it and it goes out to everybody that she's connected to. And LinkedIn's making it easy, for people to respond. Oh, I'd really like to, hey, congratulations, great work, kudos, happy for you. But they don't, I don't have time to type, maybe you're doing this on your phone. So they've made it easy for people to respond. Now, it doesn't mean, so when you get a congrats, when she gets congrats, you took the time to hit the button. If you really want to impress someone, instead of hitting this, you like it, you don't like it, you love it, and then you make a comment. And then the comment, however, is attached to the post. So you need to also bring up the messages, and repeat it there. because this message here, this comment, in 2 weeks is going to be buried. You're never going to find it again.
Hey, you got my permission to go ahead with that one, Max.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Is she a prospect?
She is.
Okay. Okay. So then what you're going to do is instead of, well, I'm getting distracted. It's easy to get distracted. I want to deal with, you're always going to have, and you're going to come back and do her.
I will come back.
All
You
right.
bet.
So we're looking at Joe Hine. Okay. I cannot believe how appropriate this is for what I had planned on talking about. Okay. Let's look at Joe Hine. So he's looking for a new career opportunity. Now notice his profile has been verified, so you know you're talking to a real person. And so we come down here, experienced senior human resource generalist, looking for career opportunity outside of HR. Now, human resources is an interesting field. And when I had my publishing company, I had to hire, when you have under 25 employees, you don't have to, you're not obligated to do things. When you hit 50 and when you hit 100, that's when the government comes in and they drive you crazy. Okay, absolutely crazy. And if you're trying to run a business and you got more than 100 employees, guess what? You need an HR person. And there are actual remote, there are services now that provide HR. But I mean, you get down to sexual harassment. I mean, it's all kinds of crap. Okay. But when you look at HR people, I'm trying to think of who it was. I grew this business educating myself with personal development programs from Nightingale Conant. And one of my favorite trainers came out with a Roger Dawson came out with a tape about growth. And if you're really looking to grow, the one individual in your company that stifles growth is the HR person. I thought about it. I listened to the tape 3 or 4 times. I actually gave it to my HR manager. And then I let him go. I asked him, what did you get out of this? And then I let him go. I gave him a 6 months severance package because I really liked the guy. Human resource people, and what I heard in the tape is they're clerks. Okay, I mean, you put paper in one file, you put it in another file. They keep you organized and everything else. Now, you take an HR person that is into recruiting, and that's a totally different animal. Okay, you want recruiters. Now, with recruiters, they experience the same thing. A company hires a recruiter, come in. I need new blood. We're starting a new team. So you use a recruiter to staff up. They get trained. And when your team is adequate and they're doing the kinds of things that's needed for them to do, you don't need a recruiter anymore. So some recruiters will work for a company for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then boom. We're reorganizing, we're restructuring. And in some cases, the company is desperate. So they'll pay top dollar more than they really wanted to pay to bring somebody sharp in to fill my staff, get me some sharp people. And then once you get the sharp people, and you look at, the bean counter in the accounting department comes back and says, hey, we need to cut some salaries. We restructure. This is what happens to recruiters. This is what happens when you work for somebody else. Now, the truth is, all of you, you may have full-time jobs, but you all work for yourselves. You're the one who decides to take a job at a specific amount of pay. You're the one who decides to accept a job that requires you to do certain things at a certain time. Okay? You're the one. If you accept a job, you've decided to accept a job for whatever reason. Maybe you want their benefits package. Whatever reason. You are an independent person who chose to go to work for a company. And if something happens and you have to go to that job, you're going to go find something else. You decide. That's what makes network marketers. So great. Because you're entrepreneurial in nature and you have an opportunity to build a business, but you don't have to build a business. What you're really going to be doing is you are going to be building a business around an established business, and your job is to build a team, because you're not going to become a senior director. Peter's not going to become a senior director by himself. Peter's going to need 8 or 10 people that want to be senior directors as bad as he does. And now you're building a team. So there's one thing to recruit, and there's another thing to build a team. There's another thing to train your people. So all of those things come into play. So here we got a guy. Let's look at his background. You kind of love LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, human resource generalist. 7 months, 5 months, 1 year. So let's look at all of his jobs. So he worked for this company for 4 years. Okay, so he's got a recruiting background, human resource. Generalist, not a human resource manager. I'm not trying to tear him down, but mid-level management. All right. So let me get rid of this. Let's come back and deal with him. So you reached out to him Thursday. It's nice to connect with you. How long have you been on LinkedIn? Been on here a decade. Now, this is what you call an eager socializer. Okay? You answer them a question, they answer. Keep in mind that they don't necessarily have to answer you, but this guy is. And he stopped working in December. Okay, so you send him this. And you asked him for a decade. Currently changing careers. So using it to try to find something different. Been on here for 10 years. Now, he didn't ask you how long you were on. Okay. And so you come back with, if your actions inspire others, this is a motivating image. Okay, now you're looking, why are you looking for a career change? And he's telling, I'm burned out. Haven't been able to keep a steady job my whole career. Part of the same thing happening over and over. Some companies have closed down, some lost contracts, some were for performance, some were because they didn't feel I had adequate knowledge to be successful. Some said I'm not learning quickly enough. It's ego crushing and I'm tired of it. Okay. Now, first and foremost, you have to know right out of the gate, this guy knows all about network marketing. Working in human resources, he's a natural magnet for people. They're going to come to him. Hey, would you like some income on the side? He knows all about network. The thing is, you are here to qualify him.
Mhm.
You're looking for somebody that's sharp. All right. So we want to ask him. People will just open up, pour their hearts out. You're going to learn things. We may end up having a nature of a conversation where we can't do it publicly, because he's going to tell you things that, frankly, you don't want to know. But every time you ask a question, and the answers to your questions is the seeds for the next question. People love talking about themselves. So I haven't been able to keep a steady job, but let me just come back and say, you didn't have to do this. You didn't have to give him this whole Microsoft story. But it didn't hurt you. Okay?
Okay.
It didn't hurt you. In fact, the fact that you say, hey, ever since Microsoft purchased LinkedIn, you're telling him, hey, I know my stuff. So in that regard, it's a good ad. Okay. And ever since I'm having so much fun networking with other people, that's becoming addicting, which is a great response. Actually, now that I'm rethinking, it's brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Kudos.
Good trainer, Max. Good trainer.
Okay, yeah, but you see, here's what you've done. You're about to tell him what you're going to do, what you do and how. And so you're telling him that, man, I'm having so much fun with this. It's becoming addicting. Okay, now why are you looking to change careers? Perfect. That's the deal. Now we could have asked him, why did you leave your last job? But man, you didn't have to. He told you right here. He's looking for a new career. Okay. So now there's a process. It's a strategy. It's a tactic that works over and over and over again when you're talking to the right people. And it revolves around, you ask somebody what they like to do. What do you love to do? And when someone comes back, and you get this from recruiters, what do you love to do? I love working with people. I love helping people change. Okay. What happened? I hate when they do that. Somebody just sent me a text message. I looked at it and I lost my train of thought. Okay. So what happens is when somebody tells you things that they love doing that relate to being successful in network marketing. I love building teams. I love training people to go for their goals. I love helping people become better than they've ever been before. That opens you up to come back and say, no wonder LinkedIn suggested that we connect. Because if we come back up here, you started out. Okay, I don't see that first message, so I'm not sure how you connected. But the first message that you would send to somebody basically says, hey, LinkedIn has suggested several times that because of what you do, we should connect. And now we can come back and we can say, oh, no wonder LinkedIn suggested, because that's what I do, which makes them curious as far as what you do. What do you do? So here, I haven't been able to keep a steady job my whole career. But that's an interesting question. Why do you think that is? Just tired of just tired of the same thing happening over and over again. Which brings up that Albert Einstein quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. All right. So he gave all it's ego, and I'm tired of it. Okay. So what we want to find out from this guy, you're qualifying. All right. What, so how long did he, was in human resources? 23? When did he start? Okay, so he's been doing it for 22 years. He's down here. So 22 years. Okay, so tired of the same thing happening. Now, so here's what we're going to do. First, you always use images. So we're going to come up here. Definition of insanity quotes. Albert Einstein. Go to images. Okay, now what we're going to do, we can do any one of these. Let's add the word GIF. See, we got to move one that moves. Here it is. It's a Chinese. It's amazing. The Chinese are stealing everything. Okay. So okay, so they modified it a bit. Doing the same thing in the same way and expecting a different outcome. So what we're going to do, let's go back. I'll take this one. Copy the image. Come back over here. Now, see, now one of the things that you didn't do, you sent them this. All right. Let me come back over here to remind you. You guys all take shortcuts. All right, let's go back over here. All right, now, I just went over this with Bobby at the beginning of the month. This is his plan. This is where all of you are going to go. So you make a prospect list. Now this is for those of you that have existing connections, because a certain percentage of your existing connections you've never talked to or you never follow up. Make a list. Okay. So for example, if I go over to Bobby's list, Bobby's network. Bobby's got 5,520, 75 people. At least 25% of those people are prospects that he's never followed up with, that he's never talked to. All we'd have to do is go over here and look at his connections. Here's one. He's loaded. Let's come up here and see how many people you're connected to that are looking for remote opportunities. So there are roughly 4 million people that are looking for remote opportunities. Somehow we got, let's come back over here to the network. So let's see, let's search your first level. How many of these people that you're already connected to are looking for a remote opportunity? Got 129 people. Okay. Now we go over here. You send this on Tuesday. Oh. This is what you need to do. We need to send out that first motivational. I just sent this to a good friend. I recently started sending these. So this kind of acquaints them to what you're doing. So when you get these, when you start sending these other ones. So what do we want to do? In his case, and so this is the whole breakdown. For those of you that are coaching students, we're going to get into this in boot camp, but I'm going to do this with you all individually. So the bottom line is, you got the 3 messages. First message, second message, icebreaker. Then we move the conversations. We qualify people. We got to find out what their experience in network marketing is. And then we hit them with the project launch script. After that, we stay in touch with them with posts. Earlier today, we gave an example. Connection was made in November. 8 months later, the person signed up in the business. So every connection you make, we're planting seeds. So as far as this guy's concerned, let's take the image. To a good friend, worked in HR. Now, you never want to lie. You never want to misrepresent the people. Now, if this is the first HR person that you've ever talked to, as soon as you send this, you can pop on LinkedIn, reach out to 20 HR people that are looking for an opportunity, and you're not lying. When you send connections requests and they accept it, now you're connected, you're friends. Now, we want to keep it pure. I would say this. So I recently sent this to someone that worked in HR and shares your experiences. Took you 26 years to burn out. Now, the question. During your 26-year career in HR.
It was 22 years, Max.
Okay. What enjoy doing the most? Now, what did you enjoy doing the most? What were the most enjoyable aspects of your job? Now, we're qualifying this guy. If he comes back and he says, I love doing the filing, I love doing the paperwork, I hated the phone, you're done
Yep.
with this guy.
Yep.
You're done with this guy. You're done. Your job is to qualify people, to see if they fit the parameters for what you're looking for. Okay, let me look over here. Okay, now let me just want to make sure. Okay, I want to bring up, and I'm running a little over.
Thank you, Max. If you're all done with me, I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
it.
done. I'm done. So let me see if this is the one. Okay. Now, let's. Oh, I gotta. Okay, you can't start a conversation when you ask the wrong question. Okay? So here's an example. Found somebody that I just sent, we send a motivating image. Future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I just sent this to a good friend and thought that you'd appreciate it too. I recently started sending motivational messages like these to my friends on LinkedIn. Hope you enjoy them too. And then we want to ask a question. Well, why do you want to leave IQT Talent Partners after working for them for over 2 years? The person had an open to work frame around his picture. Now, the best thing, and it showed that he was still working. A better way to ask that question would be, why do you have the open to work frame? The prospect saw the message, but he didn't respond. Okay? So when the message that follows below was sent, they looked at it immediately and began to respond. This was the wrong message. All right? So I was told by a friend that your company had laid off a bunch of people and just realized that the open to work frame around your photo was to attract potential clients to you. I guess I should have just asked, why do you have the open to work frame around their photo? And you could use this emoji, this GIF. It puts smiles on people's faces. You're smacking yourself in the head. So now he comes back and says, hello, Terry. Thank you so much for the motivation. We could all use that. I actually was furloughed from my current company, and while they say they want to bring me back, I've been looking for a new opportunity. I've attached my resume. We thought the door was closed. And now he comes in here with 9 years of proven recruiting experience. I bring a track record of identifying exceptional talent. My passion for connecting with the right candidates. He's this person has the skills to be relatively successful. Now, I just sent it to a good friend. I hope you enjoy them. Before this was sent to somebody else. Before you had a chance to ask the question, the person wrote back, "That's great. Well, what do you enjoy the most about your job at Game Shop?" Well, again, the person wasn't working at Game Shop. When you ask the wrong question, the response that you're going to use, you know, for some reason, the last line of my message to you was meant for someone else and they got your message. This has happened to me a lot this week. You can blame it on LinkedIn. My message to you is, why do you have the open to work frame around your photo? And we have different emojis because we're blaming it on LinkedIn. This is one of my favorites. That's the 8th time that LinkedIn has done this to me. All right. So this enables you, when you say the wrong thing to somebody, or you wish you could take something back, this is the way to do it. Let me. Okay. Now, this has a lot of yeah, I'm trying to think of the word. But with this network marketing is the natural professional evolution for most. This is the natural professional evolution of most professional recruiters. Okay. Well, it not only applies to recruiters, it applies to people in a lot of professions. Now, you're talking to somebody who comes back and says, forget about network marketing. No, been there, done that, tried that. Your response: network marketing today is not conducted the same way that your mother did it. Most of the recruiters that tell me they're not interested in network marketing are basing their opinion on outdated information, and when they learn how it works today, they change their minds. Today, you don't have to chase your family, friends, or acquaintances to sell them things, nor do you have to advertise for people or buy leads. Network marketing enables recruiters to continue working with people and helping them change their lives, applying the same thing that person liked to do. Now, you want to talk about AI, you want to talk about artificial intelligence, you want to talk about Chat GPT. This is your Chat GPT. Only it's not Chat GPT, it's Chat Max. Oh, I like that. It's Max Chat. Okay, so you use my words. God, I really like that. So you use my words. You don't have to change these, because when you use Chat GPT, and it's got some great applications, but there's nothing that you have to guess about. Many of the people I work with today were formerly recruiters. Would you like to know how network marketing works today? Because it seems to be the natural professional evolution of most recruiters. Now, what are we doing here? We're looking for them. We want to ask them questions that they can say yes to. We want to make it easy for them to ask you about your business. All right. So now I'm going to show you how this works. This is with weight loss professionals, recruiters, weight loss professionals. It doesn't matter. So it's great to connect. LinkedIn has been a great place to make friends, make professional connections, and learn something new. How long have you been using LinkedIn? How's it working for you? All right. Well, I just sent this to and they didn't respond. I just sent this to a good friend. I thought you'd appreciate it too. With all the craziness going on today, I recently started sending motivational messages like these to my friends on LinkedIn. I hope you enjoy them. So this is what you do when you haven't talked to somebody in a while. No activity. I recently started to do this. Well, they didn't answer. So then we set up another post. If nothing ever changed, there'd be no butterflies. Well, I hope you're having a great week. How is your search for a new job going? Not great. You got to get their attention. You got to come across as being someone different. Well, good morning. I would think that your professional background and experience that companies would be lined up to hire you. What types of jobs are you looking for? I'm trying to stay in the district manager multi-unit realm. It seems like there are less jobs with several in things like automotives or food. So again, you communicate with people with posts. The question isn't who is going to let me. It's who is going to stop me. All right? No response. I hope you had a good week. I meant to ask you this earlier, but forgot. Why do you want to leave your job at the cat sanctuary? Well, I own it, so I would not be leaving. It's strictly volunteer. My husband and I take care of seniors, medically challenged and special needs cats. We currently have 36 cats in our care. Okay? Now, this person is selling Melaleuca. All right? So right out of the gate, this person would be a great customer, maybe. It takes someone special to take care of the many special need cats that others have abandoned. I admire you and your husband greatly for doing so. You've been working in the health and wellness weight management field for a number of years. What prompted you to go into that direction in the first place? I struggle with my weight. Once I figured it out, I decided I wanted to help others. I think it's pigeonholed me, and people don't understand that there's so much business in the weight loss business. I see that you've worked for a number of well-known weight loss companies. Why did you stop working for Jenny Craig after working for them for almost a year and a half? What we found when we looked at her profile, she'd worked at a couple of these weight loss places. So it's the same thing. Human resource people, they work for a certain period of time, gone. It actually worked for them for 9 years. They filed bankruptcy and closed. Actually, it was the other way around. They closed and then filed for bankruptcy. They were open by the last 4 years. It was very bad the last couple of weeks. It's tough when it ends like that. Sorry you went through some very bad weeks. Now, there are many opportunities available to someone with your vast management experience in weight loss developing people and leading teams to be very successful. If you could build a team for Jenny Craig, you could build a team for Melaleuca. You could build a team for Isagenix. You could build a team for Jeunesse. Doesn't matter. You're building teams. What experience have you had with the network marketing business model? And she writes, thank you, but she doesn't answer the question. Oops, there you go. It was tough on the teams, watching them go through so much and not being able to provide any answers. I had a great team for so long. I must not be looking in the right places. And I'm not saying anything in the weight loss. I've not done anything in the network marketing business model. Before you talk about your business, you must know what their experience in network marketing is. So she said, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Well, I can tell you led a great team. It's tough when your hands and mouth are tied, and it's happening way too often in companies today. With your experience and expertise, you have the ability to lead a great team again. When I use the term network marketing, it refers to companies like Mary Kay, Avon, Nu Skin, or Amway. What experience do you have with companies like these? I've never done any of those things. It's not my thing. Now, she said, I've never done anything. It's not my thing. So what's her thing? Words are important. Considering that you worked in the weight loss for so many years, your answer didn't surprise me. What did you enjoy doing the most about your jobs? What is your thing? I love to support people, employees in learning, growing, developing, and becoming more skilled. I want to contribute and make a difference with people or animals. Becoming more of a prospect. No wonder LinkedIn suggests that we connect. We both love doing the same things. Every day, I'm helping people learn new things, develop new skills, and make a difference in their lives. Now, again, Max Chat. I like that. I found over the years that whenever someone tells me that network marketing is not their thing, it's because their personal experience in the business or their perception of how the business works has them thinking that they have to chase their family, friends, or acquaintances and sell to them, do presentations in people's homes, or advertise for leads. To be honest, if I had to do those things, I wouldn't be able to do the business either. Copy and paste. You don't need the robot to add something. In fact, network marketing seems to be the natural professional evolution of people that work for weight loss companies at your level. The fact is, that's not how network marketing works today, thanks to social networks like LinkedIn and Facebook. The most successful people in my business today love helping people, train people to become successful, and build teams of entrepreneurial-minded people. Would you like to know more about this and how we would work together? Well, you nailed it on my perception of network marketing. So do you work for LinkedIn or do you just work in your own business? I'm confused as to what you do and how you can help me. You see how you can turn somebody around? Their negative perception of network marketing is based on their experience or what they read. Sorry for my delayed response. I don't work for LinkedIn. I'm using LinkedIn to build a growing team of successful entrepreneurial-minded people with experience in sales, weight loss, and team building that you have. Many of the weight loss professionals that I work with that have lost their jobs have turned to network marketing to launch new careers. Network marketing is enabling them to continue working and training in a field that they're passionate about, build teams remotely without any limits to size or income, and generate a growing stream of residual income. Every month, more than 10 million people join LinkedIn that are looking for a new job or a better opportunity. In fact, there are over 20 million people like you that have the open to work frame around their profile photo. Today, there's 140 million. I usually don't talk about my business with most people, but when I meet someone with your experience that is struggling to find their next job, and I know in my heart that they would enjoy working with me and vice versa, I bring it up, show them how network marketing really works. Now, would you like me to explain the details? Person want to come back and they say yes. Network marketing is an industry where large companies use word-of-mouth advertising to generate sales and reward their distributors with generous commissions for the sale of products or services. They're constantly in demand and serve a huge market. Now, in our scripts book, we have an explanation of network marketing. This one has been modified. It's in the new scripts book because you're talking to somebody that was a leader. You're talking to a high-end person. Or not just talk, oh, you go to your friends, you tell your friends. The top earners, leaders, and trainers in every company earn 6- and 7-figure incomes by doing the things that you like to do and help to develop and train large teams of distributors to become successful. What attracts most people, most professionals with your experience in the network marketing business model is the residual income component. Once people start buying the products of a company being recommended by you or members of the team that I'm going to help you build, everyone continues to get paid every time they are reordered, and you receive a substantial commission on what you sell, plus an override on everything everyone on your team sells. And now we give the example. It would be like you or the distributors' teams that you're going to train told someone that didn't know anything about Target where a store was. And when they went to the store and bought anything, the store paid you or members of your team a sales commission on whatever they purchased, whatever was purchased. The icing on the cake is that every time they returned to the store in the future and bought anything else, you would continue to be paid for what was purchased, or as would your distributors and team members. And as a team leader, you'd receive an override on what your team does. Network marketing companies have changed dramatically in many ways over the years, thanks to social networks like LinkedIn. Today, you don't have to chase your family and friends and acquaintances to buy something or advertise to buy leads like you had to do years ago so you can build a growing business. Again, to be successful in network marketing today requires 3 things. 1, you have to be passionate about the products, the company, and the company that the products produce. Passionate to the point that you tell people about your company even if you weren't getting paid to do it. Second, you have to be working with someone that's already successful and can teach you how to build a business and train large teams with social networks like LinkedIn. They must be dedicated to helping you build your business and train you to build a team. And third, you must have good online business building tools so members of your team can easily tell others about the business. Working with me and the network marketing company that I work with would enable you to start an online business that can start generating income very quickly with a minimum investment and a low monthly overhead. Your overhead is your auto ship. In this case, it's like $70 a month. Hello? Together, I would help you train a large team of entrepreneurial-minded distributors to generate substantial streams of income for themselves, and your overrides off commissions off their sales would amount to 6 or 7 figures. Would you like to know more about my company and how we would work together? And so right away, let's schedule a time to chat so I can learn more. I thought you'd be interested in this when you learn the real story about how network marketing works. So we went from, it's not my thing, I'd like to learn a little bit more about this. The timing is perfect for us to talk because I'm about to launch a special project called Senior Director 90 to work with 2 people on LinkedIn with your level of experience and help them earn 40K in the next 90 days. I'll make myself available to fit your schedule. When would be the best time for us to talk? So they kind of set it up, right? I've just completed renovating our entire house. I'll spend more detailed information about my business and how we will work together. So is Debbie here? So Debbie was all set to get on a phone, do a Zoom, and show her the business. And I said, no, don't be in such a hurry. Okay? Because we want to know, what does she know about the company? Wow, that's a big project. Good luck. 2 p.m. works. They exchange phone numbers. And again, the important thing is multiple posts, sharing information. It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. Are you having a good weekend? It's been a lot of work. Taking a quick breather. Okay, now here you go. Then my company is Melaleuca. It's 38 years old and manufactures a wide range of weight loss products and other products for the home at reasonable prices that include green, non-toxic products that women with small children at home can't resist. We have a 98% reorder rate. Now, we go on here to explain a little bit about the business and explain a little bit about the income. We'll fill in the blanks when we talk on Monday. Gosh, I wish I understood more, but I have already been approached a few months ago and a few years ago about Melaleuca and have turned down the opportunity. Now, posting, sharing information. A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. Finding opportunity is a matter of believing it's there. The secret of change is to focus all your energy, not on fighting the old, but on the new. We let a week go by. I've been thinking about your last message. In retrospect, I'm not surprised that you heard about Melaleuca years ago and even a few months ago. You could put any company in there. And if someone had showed me the business like I'm sure it was explained to you, I would have turned it down too. The company has traditionally relied on the old school method of team building by selling to your family, friends, and acquaintances. And while the company has only been open to social media for the last 7 years, everyone still embraces the sell to your warm market approach. However, there are a number of innovative and progressive leaders with a think outside the box mindset that are building huge teams with a system I was planning on showing you that does not involve the way Melaleuca was traditionally or is currently the way the company is promoted. All right? The professionals with your high level of team building experience and passion for helping people that are shown the new way to build a business are building teams faster than the company has previously seen. And we have a real opportunity to build a business in a way that in 5 years will become the mainstream way to network marketing companies will be built. Would you mind sharing with me your impressions of what you know and why you don't think it's for you? I'd really appreciate it. Okay? Sorry for the delay. I got a reply started and then it disappeared. The first thing that stands out is the lack of transparency from the get-go, from everyone I've encountered. This puts me immediately questioning the company. In regards to the products, I don't want to be tied to a subscription amount, as I'm not sure I'd use enough. We manage a lot of subscriptions already, and some of the things going to our rescue financially and some going to us. If I can't stand 100% behind something, I'm not interested in trying to get others to do it. MLM has a negative reputation, and it's not something I want to get involved in. I hope this helps. Okay? We sent this, the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. So it's so true. Okay, now what we're doing is we're sending messages, posts. If you don't like how things are changing, if you don't like how things are, change it yourself. You're not a tree. Change is not merely necessary to life. It is life. And she writes back, thanks for this one. The only limits you have are the limits you believe. Be the change that you wish to see. Okay? So now Thanksgiving rolls around. Leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. This woman was a leader, so we're sending messages about leadership. We don't need a leader, but we don't need a title to lead. We just need to care. And the person writes back. And then she makes a post. Hire the people that get shit done, avoid drama, trust each other, laugh together. When I saw your repost about hiring the right employee, it stuck a nerve with me. Because what it said also applies to every successful network marketing leader when it comes to building a team. Every time I look at your profile and see who you are and what you've accomplished professionally, I see a great potential network marketing leader and a top earner who unfortunately has a well-founded and negative opinion about the business model based on incomplete information. All right, now I'm totally out of time. But this is basically, we say it's all about follow-up. It's all about follow-up. So in boot camp, we're going to show you, again, this is Max Chat. God, I like that. Let me, now for those of you that are in boot camp, we have an Ask Max session tomorrow at 11. We have 2 on Monday, and we have 2 on Tuesday. So you still have 5 hours of time to pop in, get your questions answered. That's what it's all about. Let me and you're going to see as you're talking to people, the repetition. You're going to have the same conversations over and over again. Let me come back to one last thing. My wife is going to kill me. Honey, I'll be done at 2 o'clock. One last look. Let's look at Paul. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll take a look at this. Number one, you definitely want a better picture. You're just getting started. We'll look at it tomorrow. All righty then. If you're not talking to 5 people about your business every day, you could be. Catch up to all of you tomorrow. And Peter, do me a favor, type your phone number in the chat and number to reach you in about an hour. And I'll give you a call. Talk about what you're. Oh, Peter, I think I got your number when you're registered, so I'll work with that one. Like I said, I'll give you a call in about an hour.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, that work for you?
Yeah, that'll be great.
All
Talk
right.
soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. And I got to share this with you, okay? What's new in your world? Looking for a new remote opportunity. I'm working for a robotics company, but no advancement. I need to look for something else. Just got back from the Amalfi Coast. Wife and I love it. He only worked for me for 3 years. You guys ought to send him a connection request, okay? Because this kid is sharp. We'll catch up to all of you tomorrow.